Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where, as promised, I've gotten the next iteration of the miner getter into Kerbal orbit, which is fantastic. So we will go ahead and get these photovoltaic panels opened up, because apparently I forgot to do that at the end of last session. But there we go. So we now have a solar panel, anyway. So we need to set our destination to Minmus, because we're stopping by that station. So we'll set Minmus as our target, and then at the descending node, I believe we want to go normal. That is accurate. Okay, we'll get rid of that, and we'll just create a new one right about here. We'll point at normal, and then physics warp our way over to normal. This is going to take a while for us to get turned. And we're going to run out of electric charge pretty soon. It's going to be exciting. Actually, we've got sunlight. Excellent. Much better on that front. We are not making our way over to normal very quickly. We're getting there. We'll be there in plenty of time. So, we are almost there now. We could be burning RCS, but I'm not interested in burning any monopropellant on this. We've got plenty of time to get there just with the reaction wheel. What little reaction wheel we have. Just double checking. Yep, heat shield and then remote guidance unit. Perfect. So, we can pretty much start burning this. Not quite yet, actually. I was going to say pretty much whenever, but I think let's burn it right about now. Get rid of that. Maybe a little late on that burn. That's okay. Definitely a little on the late side. I would say let's flip over to anti-normal, but I think this is close enough. Realistically, I don't want to have to deal with the incredibly slow turning another time that we don't have to. So we're just going to head up over here. That gets us a Minmus encounter. That's a reasonable encounter. That should be completely fine. We'll just get aligned to that maneuver node. And again, we will physics warp this turn. It'll take a little while to get turned over to there. And our one solar panel is kind of awkwardly placed right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we are almost rotated over. Right now, this is actually basically radial, which is slightly awkward. We're definitely not going to burn it currently. We're still 7 minutes early on this. Okay, we are almost to the maneuver node. So I'm going to go ahead and take us out of physics warp at this point. And we'll need to warp to next maneuver. This is close enough for now. This is a 1 minute, 2 second burn, so we're going to want to start this burn at T minus 31 seconds. We'll physics warp as we align a little bit more. Okay, and just a couple more seconds until the burn, which is now. And the gimbaling will allow us to turn much more quickly. Once we're done with our first stage here, we will be able to turn much more efficiently. Just gonna double check this. Yes, that appears to be fine. Excellent. Just double checking that we have an airlock. At this point, I'm paranoid about everything. So we've got a few seconds left in this burn, 400 meters per second to go. This is going to pretty much burn out this entire stage. Is it going to burn it out? Not quite. Okay. I can deal with that. So we're just about done with this burn. About another 3 meters per second to go here. That's good enough. At the periapsis here, we will add a quick braking maneuver. We've got 47 meters per second left in this thing. Okay, I want to bring this down to about 120 meters. By that I mean 120 kilometers. So something about like this. Fantastic. We'll begin aligning. Now that we've burned out all of the fuel, or almost all of the fuel, this is faster. It's not as fast as it will be, but it's at least reasonable. So we will get aligned over here. And of course, off we go. We're not going to be back to Kerbin for a little while. We're almost lined up here. Right about now-ish. And let's just go ahead and warp to that next maneuver. That is 7 days out. Of course, we have plenty of time. Plenty of time before our next maneuver on our longer-term projects. So that is ideal. Hello, Minmus. Fancy meeting you here. Okay, so this is a 24-second burn, so we want to burn this at T-minus 12 seconds. Just go ahead and warp towards that. And we are going to stage in the center of this, so we want to burn now. And off we go. A 100 meters per second is our current orbital velocity. We'll just bring that right on down. We have so much DV in this thing, it's insane. There we go. How did that do? Close enough. Our inclination is a little weird, but we'd have to change our inclination anyway. So at the periapsis, we are going to do another quick braking maneuver, and we're going to bring this down and circularize-ish around there. That'll be fine. So let's align to that. We'll physics warp as we turn. We're definitely turning much more quickly now. Again, I don't want to be using RCS for this. Our RCS is quite limited, and we want to be utilizing that for docking. Okay, we can now warp to this maneuver. That is, again, 3 days out, which is just fine. This is a 4-second burn, so we will just warp to about T-minus 2 seconds. And we will begin this burn right now. There we go. Okay, now we need to rendezvous with the station because we need to remove some people from it. So let's just line up our view, something like this. Actually, we could just set as target and grab our descending node right here. I suppose that would work. And then we'll just do something kind of like this. Let's see, if we do that, we're going this way, and then we'd be going along with the ice cream maker. So actually, we want to be bringing it down anti-normal, because I want to go retrograde from it. Okay, we'll physics warp over to anti-normal. We'll hold there. Excellent. We'll warp in towards the descending node. About 30 minutes. Because we are aiming for an ascending node, ideally, of 180 degrees. That's how we want to do this. So, let's just go ahead and start burning this basically any time right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and warp towards the descending node again, since it's drifted a little. Okay. Just trying to hit that sweet, sweet 180 degree mark if we can. We can't. This is close enough. Okay. So let's see what would happen if we did a retrograde maneuver right here. How would we be looking for an encounter? It looks like we can get one right down here, half a kilometer away. I like it. We'll align to that burn. This is a 0.9 second burn, so we don't need to do much here. And we don't actually need to be half a kilometer away. Relative speed is going to be pretty high, but that's okay. It's not like we're short on delta V. And of course, that is the downside of this rendezvous maneuver. We'll just warp to that next maneuver quickly, and we'll warp a little further. Okay, we'll burn this about now. And a little slowly. How are we looking for that separation? 4.4 kilometers. I think we can go a little further. Never mind. It's prograde. Okay, we'll flip around. I'll make a small correction. I'd rather be a little closer than 8.3 kilometers, so I'm okay with that. Now, transport infrastructure is, at least from Kerbal to the Minmus station, basically done. 0.4 kilometers? I can deal with that. Okay, so we will warp in to somewhere around here. Excellent. We can see that the station is about 12 kilometers away right now. We want to be facing target retrograde, and so we shall. We'll physics warp the turn here, and I'm going to want to start this burn probably somewhere around 4 kilometers away, which we're basically there. So I'm going to do this right now. We'll bring this down to something around 20 meters per second, and then let it drift just a little bit closer. What are we looking at for this separation? 1.1 kilometers? Okay. We'll actually kill this speed entirely. Something along the lines of this. It doesn't want to lock to retrograde anymore. Fair enough. Okay, we'll just point at the target because right now we're getting closer. This is perfectly fine. I'm not sure if we're going further away or what right now, but once we get a little closer, then I'm going to look to kill our speed again. That's 10 meters per second. Just get ourselves fully flipped around for right now. Just heading for that sweet, sweet retrograde marker. Okay. Our trajectory is going to take us real close here. I like it. So once we're about 150 meters out, that's when we'll kill this. Relative velocity, that is. Okay, this is close enough. Okay. Next, we'll hop over here, decide where we want this thing to dock up. I want it to dock up to this, so we will control from here for this inflatable airlock, and we will set this airlock as our target, and we will turn and face target. Now I'm going to quick save here, because for the sake of time, I want to try physics warping this and see if it breaks anything. This is risky, but if it does break anything during this physics warp, it's a bug, which was why I was willing to physics warp it. Okay. We'll freeze that physics. There we go. Next. Set as target, and control from here, open airlock, point at target. Once again, I'm going to quick save, and we'll physics warp this turn, just to make this go a little bit quicker. We'll just get these aligned up. There we go. Make sure we're aligned over here. We do not appear to be. Okay, now we're reasonably aligned. I'll kill those physics, if we can. Excellent. And we're just going to burn in at about 0.5 meters per second. I'll adjust our velocity here to be something like that. And in we go. Of course, using the RCS like that does tend to adjust our attitude, which we need to arrest with the reaction wheel, which is fine. That is in progress as we speak. So we'll just get lined up again. Something like this. I'm going to warp this in until we're about 50 meters out. Then we'll make another adjustment. Just a little further. Okay. Make a quick adjustment here. There we go. We'll align this guy. In theory, the station should still be aligned. I think future iterations of this should probably have an extra reaction wheel. Because this is a little bit painful. 'Cause, So far, this is looking good. Yep, this is definitely looking good. I don't think we need to adjust our trajectory at all. I think we're largely right on the money. We've drifted a little. We're good. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got that docked up, and we want to transfer some crew. Specifically, we want to transfer Valentina over to here. So Valentina is now in the re-entry module. And let's see here. We want to leave our 2 scientists here, but we want to transfer Orbis, who I believe is in the Hitchhiker storage container. No, he is not. Is he in here? No crew? Okay. Where is this guy? Let's see. We've got... Orbis is the only other one that we need to locate. Okay. Is he maybe in here? Yes. Okay, so we move Orbis over to there, which means that only Ember and Reiji are going to be remaining on the station currently. Then, all we have to do is undock this guy, hop over, RCS on. We'll accelerate away from the station a little bit, utilizing our RCS. In retrospect, I should have unloaded some fuel. Oh well. This is, after all, just a demonstration flight. We're not going to retract that solar panel just yet. Okay, so we are currently here. And essentially, I believe all we need to do is a prograde burn essentially anywhere. What would that look like? Okay, we definitely want to not burn it here. Yeah, more like up here. And let's check our periapsis here. That's kind of exciting. Take it prograde a little bit. Hello. Now that's a bit of a re-entry. We'll take this down to about 20 kilometers, actually, because we're going to do a re-entry burn anyway. Yeah, that'll be fine. 300 meters per second to get back. I like it. Okay, so we'll align to that maneuver. We'll physics warp that alignment. And this burn gets us into a re-entry trajectory, so that would be ideal. And now that we know that it only takes about 300 meters per second, we can leave about 400 in this in future flights, and use everything else for refueling. So this is a 35-second burn. So we want to burn this at T minus 17.5 seconds. We'll go ahead and warp towards that. So right now. And off we go. It may look like we're burning to impact Minmus, but we are not. It's a bit of an awkward burn, but gets the job done. Eight more seconds left in this burn. Okay, let's just hit this as close as we can. How's that? Good enough. Okay, we'll set our focus over to Kerbin. And we will go ahead and warp to somewhere around here. Excellent. And before we re-enter, we need to set up a radial retrograde burn. So we're just going to retrograde this up. And technically, I'm not interested in this periapsis. I'm interested in this periapsis. So we'll take this down, and then anytime that it dips too low, we can always pull some off of the apoapsis with a bit of radial directionality. So something kind of like this. I'd like to burn this maybe a little later as well to increase its efficiency. I mean, we have tons of DV for this re-entry burn. I'm not really concerned about that. Okay. And technically, that's not the re-entry burn right there. That's just a, like, pre-re-entry braking burn. But that'll do. We'll go ahead and orient for that. At least I hope that's a pre-re-entry. It should be pre-re-entry. Okay, we are oriented. Going to quick save here, just in case this does warp too far. And we'll warp to that next maneuver. Hello, Moon. And here's Kerbin. Well, that felt spicy. 1 minute 55 seconds, so T minus, what is that, 57.5 seconds, I think? Yeah. That's when we'd want to do that burn. So we'll warp ahead a little bit further. And let's perform this pre-re-entry braking burn. It's close enough. And we'll just keep an eye on our periapsis here. You can see our apoapsis is shrinking dramatically, and we're bleeding off quite a lot of speed. Which is perfect. It's not the direction I had hoped the camera would be facing. Wanted it to be facing more like this way. So you can see we're burning like away from the planet, but not exactly away from the planet. Good old radial retrograde. And our periapsis is currently coming up rather dramatically. That will change as the orbit continues to shrink, and it'll start pulling out of the apoapsis to lower the periapsis, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I doubt it does. Essentially, as our position in the orbit changes, the periapsis will start going down as well as the apoapsis. And that should start quite soon, since we're reaching the halfway point in the burn. See, now we're technically not even going into the atmosphere currently, but that will change. The periapsis is being pushed this direction, which means that because our directionality isn't really changing, this will start going down quite shortly. Now it's starting to get pushed relatively quickly, and now it's going down. Perfect. So the question is, can we rescue this entire exploration stage? I don't know. We'll give it a go. Okay. 12 kilometers is fine. Not too concerned about that. So we now want to be in surface retrograde. And I'm actually going to say, go ahead and use RCS to get us there a little bit more quickly. We don't really care at this point about the monoprop. And in fact, I'm going to retract this solar panel. There we go. And now we'll turn the RCS off. About like that. And we'll just warp forward a little ways. Although I don't want to warp there. I want to warp forward a little bit more manually. Once we get down to about 100 kilometers, we'll pop out of that and reorient. There we go. And now we'll jump down to about 80 kilometers and do the same thing again. Okay. A little bit more monoprop here. There we go. And I want to make sure that we're absolutely positioned correctly for this. And we will begin this re-entry burn at 71. Okay. We are officially in the atmosphere. And yes, I know this episode is going a little long. I wanted to do this whole mission in one episode. Other than the launch, I suppose, but simple enough. Should have no real issues with our descent here. We're decelerating pretty quickly right now, which is ideal. I'm going to move this decoupler up here, just for the moment. How much time do we have left in this burn? Okay, so we're going to burn basically all of this. I'm going to leave 20 seconds left in the tank, just for a landing burn, if we can get away with that. I have no idea what our speed is going to look like from the parachutes. So that's going to be interesting. But our surface speed is already pretty low. We are going to be splashing down, it looks like, which is ideal for this sort of a landing. Yeah, we did not need the heat shield for this re-entry. Technically, we could launch our drogue chutes now. They would not launch at this atmospheric pressure, though. So I'm going to allow us to fall for a little bit here. We've got 19 seconds left in our engine tank here, so that's fine. We burned off almost all of that speed just with engines. Now we're currently accelerating, which I don't really like. I want to check the drogue chutes here. Minimum pressure 0.02. Okay. Was just checking to see if those would deploy. And now we're decelerating again, which is ideal. Drogue chutes out. You can see just how much that's causing us to decelerate. Main chutes out. At this point, we are quite safe. Gonna physics warp down a bit. There we go. Drogue chutes have deployed. and we are moving at about 70 meters per second. Main chutes will deploy soon. There goes main chutes. Oh yeah, this is fine. We can salvage the exploration stage. So I'm going to physics warp down until we are about 50 meters up. And once we are 50 meters up, we'll begin our landing burn. This doesn't work in real life, but this is Kerbal. And there we are. Splashdown. Technically, this joint broke when we fell over. It's fine. We can still recover both parts. Excellent. So we'll recover that. And then I will say that it is past time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this is the exploration stage here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here as soon as we're done rescuing our Kerbals. And until next time, you can leave an offering to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.